Okay, so let me answer your questions. The first one, what do you want to teach at our school? Well, first of all, because the school has a proven, successful history, is a good school system in Taiwan and in China for several years, and now you're expanding. It means that the system really works. Secondly, because being a new school, there are a lot of future opportunities in my career, and last but not least is because also being a new school, I can make a bigger impact. I can bring a positive change in the students' life, because they will mostly came from like public system, which is a little bit different. So I'm really sure that I can help them to develop their like learning abilities and their self-confidence, and they will also help me to understand their their problems, and we can work together uh, for a better future for them. Like as you said, their goal is to go to a like, I don't know, American university or something. So we can do this together. Now the second one, are you a team player? As I mentioned before, I used to work as a freelancer, delivering training. I used to work in different departments, in schools, and also throughout my careers in different kind of jobs. And I realized that working in a team, will bring better results than working individual. Why? Because if you work as a team, every member of the team has its own abilities, has their own, responsibilities, so they can, deliver a better result, and of course in a shorter time. They can complement each other, they can learn from each other, they share what they are doing, like I said before, like between maths department and ESL department. So you can work as a team much better than uh, as an individual. And there is always someone you can rely on, right? There is someone you can ask, there is someone you can share with. uh, Question number 3, your career and lifelong learning plans. Well, I am that kind of person who likes to use his time wisely. So whenever I have something new or something that I don't master exactly, or when I want to learn something, I just dig deep. I go online, I do some research, I try to find different ways, different ideas about the same subject or the same situation. And this is helpful in career, and this is helpful in life, because you know you can get knowledge from others, and maybe you can avoid some future mistakes, or you can improve the way that other people did. So it's always room for learning, because life is a learning experience. And the fact is, when you learn something like through a first-hand experience, you, even if you do a mistake, right, you won't repeat that mistake, or you find another way to deal with that situation. And this is also in career, right? You can plan your career, like I said, or like you mentioned, that there will be an option to be like an AP or an IB certified teacher. So I'm looking forward to it. So it's always way for improvement in your life, in your career, in your whatever job you're doing, in your relationship with others. You just have to learn and have to try first. Every journey starts with a single step, right? So try first, and then you can find your own way. How would you define your personal accountability? So in a team there is, let's say, a common responsibility, so everybody has the responsibility to deliver the task on time, but as an individual, you have your own responsibility, and this individual responsibility is basically what is also called the accountability, because other people will expect you to do your job, and you'll expect you not to double check after you finish your part. So it's like taking ownership for what you are doing. So it's, and even go an extra mile for delivering the results. And also, in my opinion, I think you can maybe show an example for other people, or maybe share some of your experience with them. So it's like trust and responsibility all together, and being able to follow the way through and to finish the task. And this is also something that should be built in, as a responsible teacher and as a responsible human being. So you have to be trustworthy. And the last one is about a time when you took a responsibility for a failure. Well, obviously we are not robots, so we are human beings, so to fail, it's natural. And in my opinion, this is the best way to first-hand experience something. So this is the best way to learn, as I told you before, either to avoid mistakes, or either to find a different way from the beginning, based on the knowledge of other people, if you do some research, and or if you just talk to somebody. So when a failure was happening, maybe sometimes your intention was good, and you didn't even, let's say, forecast that there will be a possible failure there. So for instance, when I remember a situation when I used to teach some students some strategies to cope with the difficulties of an exam, and I realized those strategies were not the right way to deal with that exam, or were not the right at the right moment, and in the right context, right? So like when I taught them, my intention was pretty good, and I was pretty excited that I can share some new methods with them. But like on the way through, I realized that maybe this is not the case. And then I spoke with the management, and I spoke with the parents, and I told them, look, this was my approach, but I might be wrong on this or on that. So I took the entire responsibility on my own. I said the students they have nothing to do with that. It's just my approach was maybe inappropriate in that context. So I just change. I just let's say, how to switch, like on the way. I just switch on the way the strategies, and I explain them a different way, to deal with tasks during the exam. So this was like an overall view of this of these 5 questions, and thank you.